Hey guys, what's up? So today we are going to write up a program that prints out all the even numbers from 1 to 20. And I have this basic syntax of the code already written out that you should be familiar with. Well, let's get started. Like when I say that I'm going to write or I am supposed to write a code that prints out 20 all the even numbers between 0 to 20, then a simple way that you could do it is just doing cout 0 done, right? And you can 1. So you're getting what I'm trying to do here. So that would be 4, that would be 6, 8, 10, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, well that's 18, and it's 20. We don't need this, and we can write a return statement there. And if we run this, yeah, hope it runs. Now it says 0246810124161820. Well, I see what the problem is there. It's not single digits, those are double digits. But let's make it more organized, because the error was just we didn't included this. And I'll remember it moves to the next line, right? So it will write 0, and then you'll go on to the next line, and then there will be a 2. Then you go on to the next line and it will write a 4. Then it'll go on to the next line and then it'll print out 6, and so on. Now if we run that, that should be looking pretty more organized than we had before. And here it is: 0, 2, 4, 6, right? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's good, but what I feel here is you just had to take the statement and you had to copy paste it, copy paste it, copy paste it, copy paste it till 20, because you're including 0 to 20, right? Well, I feel that's not a good programming practice. I mean, you should understand a main point here, that if you are writing a code more than once, that means you just have to copy paste a code more than if you're copy pasting, it's definitely more than one time. So if you have to copy paste the code, it clearly means that you're repeating, right? And it's not a good programming practice if you repeat the things. Repeat your code that I have here. So I have cout 0 and I'll copy paste, just changing 0 to 2. Again here I'm changing 2 to 4. So what's happening here is I'm using my same code over and over again, and I'm not changing I'm just changing the values, but the code essentially basically remains the same, and that's not a good programming practice. And even I'm sure you don't want to write this big code, well, when you could finish it and with just 4 lines or even shorter lines of code. So let's comment this out for now. Well, let's comment this out for now, and then we'll get to this later. So if you want to write, or if you want to print all the even numbers between 0 to 20 without using this long method, writing cout bunch of times, what you can do is you can use something called a for loop. I'll just write up a basic structure here. Print out all the even numbers between 0 to 20, right? So When you talk about loops, loops are made for this purpose. The main purpose of the loop is to minimize the amount of code you are writing. So whenever you feel you are repeating some kind of code, you should think about a loop. Can I use a loop? Well, this might sound confusing. What the heck you're talking about loops? So first of all, let's talk about loops. What are loops? So when you say about loops, at least in programming languages, there are basic three kinds of loops. Right? Three. One is called for loop. Second one will be while loop. And the third one would be do while loop. Particularly in this video, we are going to talk about for loops. The next video, we will talk about the while loops, and the video after that, we'll talk about do while loops. So, loops, 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 loops. What are loops? So, when you want to understand loops, just assume that you're going in a car. You're going in a car, and your dad or your sibling put on music, and the music changes after. So one, if they put music number one. After the music number one gets over, the music number two will play. Then the music number three, and then the music number four, then the music number five, and so on. Now what happens? You notice that okay, first song was played, and then after 10 songs, again it got back to the first song. Again you noticed it, okay, it started from 1, it went through 10, it passed the 10, and after 10th song it's again going back to song number 1. Well, then what? That's not rocket science thing, right? You'd be like, that's happening, that probably means that the songs are repeating, and that's what the loop are. So when you say something is repeating, you're saying that thing is looping around. That's what actually I see. So if you say the song, these 10 songs are repeating over and over again. So you would be saying, are these 10 songs in a loop? Okay, something like that. Or you say this one line, there is a one song that's coming over and over and over again. You can say, is this song in a loop because it has been playing on for a while? So is this song in a loop? And whenever you are writing a code, writing a program, and you realize that you're writing a code more than once, or you feel like your code is repeating, you should always think about loops. Okay, if my code is repeating, there should be another way through which I could shorten the amount of code I'm writing. And that is possible through what? Using loops. Most of the time, when you say to yourself that okay, I think I'm repeating a code more than once, so there should be a shorter way to do it, and the answer to that would be loops. Loops are the shorter way. Now in this program we are trying to print the numbers from 1 to 20. Oh sorry, I mean 0 to 20, and we found a way to do it by just printing out cout statements. But then what do you see here? We are repeating our code more than once. So okay, repeating means more than once. So what we are doing, we're repeating our code. So what will be a good option to do it? The good option would be to use a loop, right? Good option would be to use a loop. I just told you why. So let's go ahead and minimize the amount of code we are writing. Okay, so we'll just write a line of code, line or two, to print out all the even numbers. So in this case we are using a for loop, and by the way, I like to tell you, no matter what loop you choose a for loop, you choose a while loop, you choose a do while loop, what happens is they all have their own syntax. So if you know the syntax, what thing is, you just have to fill out their syntax. Okay, it's like not like a syntax, it's like a template. You already have a template, you just have to fill that template. Okay, you just have to fill that template and you have to write your code. That's what you're doing, no matter what loop you're using. So when you are talking about for loop, so first thing is you're declaring. Okay, not declaring, you're declaring or you're initializing. Initializing sounds more okay. Okay, so you'll initialize a variable. So in this case, I like to initialize a variable or variable type int called I to what? 0. So the first part is initializing. Then you put a comma, so that's the end of the first part. Then your second part starts. This is just for the for loop. Then you know what second part starts. So second part is condition. You're talking about conditions. Now what will be our condition in this case? So let's say we are starting with I is what? 0. So the condition has to be with I no matter what, because I don't think we can use any other condition at this point. Okay, so condition would be something regarding I. So condition would be, if we are going to L20, then I think I should stop the I at 21. So if I is less than 21, then the loop should stop. That's our condition. So let's say our I gets to 20. Is 20 less than 21? Yes, it is. Now we're talking about even numbers, so it will go up by 2, and it will say, is 22 less than 21? Answer will be what? No, 22 is not less than 21. So the loop will stop, and that's it. We'll print out our code. Now you'll be wondering, you have I equals to 0, so at this point you have 0 is less than 21. How is 0 going to increase? To 1, then to 2, then to 3, then to 4. How is it going to increase? So for that reason we have I plus equals to, whoa, what's going on? So what we are doing is we're adding 2 to whatever the value of I is, so 0, and then this will become 2. I equals to what? 2. Then again 2 plus 2, 4. So I'm doing I plus or equals to just to print out all the even numbers, and this you can notice is the third part, and this third part is dealing with incrementing. Okay, this will always be incrementing, because you are repeating your one line of code more than once. What you are doing, if you're going to repeat it for 10 times, the increment should be what? 10. If you're repeating it for 20 times, the increment should be 20. That's why we have a part for incrementing. So first part is for initializing, second part is for condition, and the third part is for incrementing. Or if you want to decrement, you can decrement. Okay, so in this case int I equals to 0 is our initializing, I is less than 21, it's our condition. Why is it 21? Because our even numbers are supposed to be just between 0 to 20, and then because it is even number, we are increasing our I value, which is set to 0, by 2. So it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, going on till what? Till 20, because if it goes beyond 20, we have this condition to stop it. Now you also need a brace, so if you're opening a brace, you'll also have to have an ending brace, and then you can just see out I, and then in del for next line. So what will happen? Let's imagine what's going to happen. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. So what is I is 0. Is 0 less than 21? Yes, it is. So first of all, it'll after it comes to here, so it'll after it goes from initializing, so I is 0, then it'll come back to it'll go to the condition. What is condition? 0 less than 21. Is it in this case? Yes, it is. So if it is true, then what will happen is we'll go through here, this loop will run, and what's the value of I in this case? The value of I in this case is what? 0. So it will what? Print out a 0. Then it will come to this part, incrementing 0 plus 2, 2 is, then I will set I'll be equal to what? 2. Now is 2 less than 21? Answer will be again yes, so it will print out 2, and this thing should go on till we reach 20. I hope that makes sense how it's going. So now it's time to run our code. Okay, so now it's our time to run the code, man. So let's go and run it. Here we go. And I can't see anything. Are you able to see anything? So I think it'll take some time. And there you go. Well, I'm wondering, what is this thing doing here? Let's get rid of that. And then let's try. Okay. So I hope you know it, so we can get rid of this and we can run it. Ooh. Well, then it's my mistake. You don't need commas, you need semicolons. How can I be that stupid? Well, that should run now. That was a big fear. Yeah, it runs. So you realized it? You're separating. Okay, I'll explain you what went wrong for the first time. Let's erase the things for now. Oh, why is it not erasing? Alright, so you use a semicolon. See, you use a semicolon to distribute the parts. Okay, so first part is what? Initializing. So I int I equals to 0, and that's part 1. The part 1 is over, so you put a semicolon. Then second part is I is less than 21. What's that part? That part is setting the condition. You set the condition, then you put a semicolon to end that second condition. Okay, so semicolon, condition, semicolon, and then you're incrementing semicolon, and it worked. Alright, so that was just the events. Now let's try for odds. So typical way and time consuming and the lines consuming code would be writing C out, C out, C out, C out, just writing bunch of C out statements. That I feel is typically useless. When you have to rewrite your code, you're wasting your time, so that's useless. So repeating means what? Repeating means using loops. So let's use our for loop. So let's just take this away. So we need a for loop. We want to initialize it. I equals 0. That could be anything, and j and k anything. In this case we are using and I equals to 0. That's first part, initializing. Semicolon, first part over. Condition less than 21. Good. Now that's the great part. Well, should not start with 0, then we should start with 1. Why? 1 is odd, and then we'll be adding I plus equals 2. So 1 plus 2 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 6 plus 2 7 plus 2 9 plus 2 11. That's how it will go on. And how long do we want it to be? Till 20, or we want to include 21. So let's make this to 22. That will be 22. So it will be now 1 plus 2 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 7 plus 2 9, and it will go on till 21. So we are doing C out, just I, and then we'll keep an endl there. So that would be our all odds, not here. There you go. And it'll take some time, but then it'll come up, it'll load up. I hope that should work. And there you go. It's 1 3 5 7 9 11 13 15 17 19 21. Isn't that cool? Well, if you had to be between 1 to 20, you could have just changed the condition. Could have just put 20, and then it would have just taken off this 21, and it would have just printed till 19. So typically, to summarize, for loops are made to shorten your code, save your time, and stop you from using your code more than once. That means copy pasting your code. All right, then that's three parts just for the for loops. You have initializing, and then you put a semicolon, then you have a condition, then a semicolon, and you have incrementing and braces, right there, braces, and your statement is in between. Once the loop gets over, once the loop is finished, it will go on to the rest of the main function to execute it. If there's nothing there, it won't execute anything. Okay, so if it's nothing, it won't execute anything. And if I say, suppose, hi here, hello, then after this loop gets over, it will come down and it will print out this. So I'll just want to show you this part. This video is super long, but then this is for the beginners who are trying to get hang on C++. That's why it is there. So change it to what, 20. So now the odd numbers are between 1 to 19, not including 20. And then not include 20 is not an odd number, so it's fine. And then after this loop gets over, I'm printing out hello right here. I'm printing out hello, so it has hello right here. So this example clears out how for loops works, and this is all you need to know about for loops. If you know this, you're done. You are done. You are pretty strong with the for loops. Now I'll just recommend you to go and practice. And if you want to practice, if you want me to give you some code to practice, feel free to comment down so I can give you some code to work on. Alright, have a good day.